Well. The Blues. The Blues win. Hello and welcome to the fan cams. After the Blues beat the Suns by 13 points just now at Marvel Stadium in round 20, it was 16 goals, 14, 110. That magic number over 100 points to 15 goals, 797. Tough fought four-quarter performance against the Gold Coast Suns. That was pretty entertaining game of football. High scoring, lots going on, undermanned Blues, compounded by the loss of Nick Newman early in the game. Well, they battled, didn't they? It's a good, solid win. And that is the 9th win of 2026, which matches the 9 wins from 2025 with 4 games to play. It's good stuff. Glad to be here with you all. If you'd like to call in to the fan cams, share your thoughts. I'm sure there's a lot to get through. There's a few players that need some talking about, some props. I'm sure they're going to get their flowers. We will celebrate them all, talk about all the themes and issues. I have no idea what happened to Nick Newman other than I think it was a hamstring. So someone's going to have to come on and tell me what happened there. The link is in the live chat right now. Please feel free to call in. Would love to hear from absolutely all of you. And we'll have a nice, calm fan cams. We'll just start here with Carlton Football Club Lover 69 with a $20 donation. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you to Lewis Young. Outstanding game. Did not think he had that in him. The cheeky run-up, the goal, the confidence he's going to take from this may have just saved his career. Go Blues. You know what? I'm very happy for Lewis. He just battled. He played the most flexible game of football you'll see today. He was ruck, forward, back, provided a contest, did his job, did his thing. So very happy for Lewis. All right, let's start. Let's go to Queensland because Jen is there. Hello, Jen.
Da 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 da. Yeah, baby, I'm here.
What a way to start.
How magic, hey? How magic.
Oh, I mean, we were up against it today when you sort of think about it and you unpack it. And I was obviously there. I'm looking around the field today at the Gold Coast Suns and I'm just seeing elite players, stars everywhere. And I think today was one of those, a champion team will be better than a team of champions.
100%. 100%. Yeah, we were up against it and it was at points, at times, boy, it was ugly. I mean, it was like ping pong. And our kicking at certain passage, times, like it was at patches, it was just like, have we forgotten how to kick?
Yeah.
And when we were kicking all the behinds again, I was like, come on, guys. But and I found out an interesting, you probably already know this, but I found it very interesting that Josh Fraser was our forward coach before becoming the senior. So, when everybody's, I was like, wow, he's helping our guys kick goals. Maybe we get Fev in. I don't know. But then you've got, oh my God, Gavin's son.
Oh, that boy.
Oh, just outstanding. Everything he did. I mean, he had 12 score. I'm all befuddled. Involvements.
He had 12 score involvements?
He had 12 score involvements, Tez, and he kicked 3 himself.
He played. I mean, we're going to have to start calling him a man pretty soon. He played like a man. Like he had presence about him today.
Yes, like a man possessed. He was in everything. And his tackling is just becoming his signature. but then that sneaky goal on the goal line, where the hell did he come from?
Oh, that's forward craft right there.
He's so fast. He's just so fast, like just thinking wise as well as execution wise. And today, I mean, if he doesn't get a blue on Monday night, I'm going to quit.
I'll put Pommy on notice. Don't worry.
All right. Okay.
I'll tell you what, Jen. There's going to be a fair few greens, I would have thought, after today.
Matey, I did a watch along with our beautiful friend Paul Edwards in the UK.
Yes.
And bless him, up at 4 a.m. to watch the game. And we were, throughout that chat, I was saying, look out for, I mean, I called, there's definitely Burn will get a blue, but there will be so many greens. And I mean, and I believe our youngsters, they won that for us. Lockie Cowan, Billy Wilson, Jagger Smith, Taylor Byrne, and I know people won't consider him young, but Frankie the Tank, who's only 24, they all, for me, really, really stood out. Even though our cap still did his magical things and, got his disposals and all the rest of it. It was just so great to be able to see those young guys just never, ever, ever give up.
Yeah.
And Haynes will be a green, borderline blue. And as for Newey Dull, within the first, I'd say probably minute to 2 minutes of the game, he strained a hamstring.
So was he like? Did it happen in a specific incident? Was he running and stretching and then like?
I don't know, because I didn't actually see the incident. I just heard them say, "Oh, he's gone off the ground," and then, "Oh, he's gone down into the rooms." And then they showed him down in the rooms. He was pretty despondent, but he was moving okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think, well, it's hopeful thinking, but I don't think that it will be as long out as it could have been. Yeah, and bless, they also showed him in the rooms after he'd sort of come out of being diagnosed or what have you, and he's got his little girl Audrey in his arms, and she's just kissing Daddy all over the face. It was like, yeah, that made him smile. So but so sad for him for his 150th. I mean, you wouldn't script it, would you?
Nah, that's just shocking. I mean, he's had some really nasty injuries over his career and didn't deserve to go out like that on his 150th. He did not deserve that.
Seriously harsh. And yes, Lewis Young, for all of his haters out there, bless you, young man.
Yeah.
Good on you, stepping up and showing them all that you do have skill. You do have what it takes. Today he produced, and it was just wonderful to see for him.
The thing I noticed out there today, they really made an effort to get around him on the ground.
I know.
They made an effort to get around each other, but I mean, I thought he played a really important role. I mean, obviously he's not a natural forward, but he just provided a contest. He was strong where he needed to be, and it's hard to play well when you're chopping and changing role. You've been a defender all year. Now we need you in the ruck. Now we need you forward. Now you got to swing back again. Like it's tough to find continuity.
I mean, yeah, serious kudos. I mean, 1 minute he was up the back, and then within, a couple of minutes he's up in the forward line. And it's like he was, I mean, the really good thing was that none of them hung their heads. None of them gave up. And Lewis Young, that last kick on goal where he walked back about 80 metres.
Smart. Intelligent.
Wasn't it? Like, I mean, it deserved a goal, but just to be aware of where in the game we were time-wise and what he could do to, do the team thing, I thought that was magical. And Brodie Kemp, I know he has, I get it, he's lost all confidence in his kicking for goal, and my heart bleeds for him, But today, he was such a team man.
Yeah, he
He
was.
he he did it again. He didn't give up. No, he didn't have confidence to kick, but he kicked. He's kicking to like Gov in the last, and there was another one that he did. It was like, good on you, Broads. Like, okay, you're aware of what your strengths are at the moment, and you're aware of what your weaknesses are at the moment. And bless your little cotton socks, you played the team role. And I mean, people saying drop him. No, you can't drop a team player like that. You just can't.
No, look, it's a good call. I think he recognized what his strengths and weaknesses were today, and he just set other people up. But I think a lot of them did that today. There was no holding on the ball too long. It was first option.
Yep.
Get it to a player that's in a better position than you. Be quick with it, and happy days.
Yeah. It was just lovely, 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 lovely to see them keep it going for the entire game. And I got some pictures off the telly after the game where they interviewed Cripper, and then they brought over Byrne at the same time. And Cripper talked him up so much. And again, I said that last time when he talked about Jagger. When you're getting that sort of praise from your cap, wear it like a bloody badge of honour, because he deserved it so much. And he's so shy. He's so shy. He didn't want to really talk on camera, but he held his own. It was just lovely. So
it's good stuff.
Say hello, and
great way to kick
precedent.
Yes, great way to kick us off, Jen. Thank you very much for calling in. Lovely to see you smiling.
Thank you. You too. Okay. Bye, Tat. Love you.
Bye. That is Jen. Ake Boaz with the $50. Thanks, mate. Clone Taylor Byrne during the off season. He's ready. He's not he is a kid. He's a pup, but he played a very mature game today. Ryan the Blue Boy. Here he is.
G'day, Tez. How are you, mate? Nice to see you.
Good, mate. Is this the Fan Cam's debut?
This is, yeah. I haven't had any beers today. I'm normally 3 parts tanked, so I can talk sober today. So, and I thought I'd introduce my jumper I won a couple of weeks ago.
Fantastic. That's the signed Yaron Guernsey there. Beautiful.
Yep. I haven't hung it yet because I'm still unsure whether I'm going to take it to work or whether I'll stick it up here, but it might go up here. It's funny though, the computer I'm on now, I haven't used this since COVID, and I just logged into it and I just realised I've still got Charlie Curnow as my screensaver. So I've got some updating to do.
You sure do, mate.
Yeah, today's game. Harry Dean, I'll tell you what, he had a big job to do today. Huge job. And I thought he held himself quite well. We really are missing Jacob Wiedering and Harry Mackay. I know we had some, terrible shots at goal and some field kicks were not that flash today, but we've got the spine of our group missing too. So we've got to try and remember that. But geez, like the lady before said, we've found some gems in Byrne and Wilson. Byrne is nearly like our little wizard. I tell you what, he's got something in the making anywhere, that kid. He's so exciting to watch for someone that's so raw. And like the lovely lady said before, Cripps on the interview after the game, Cripps was just so proud. He was so proud of this kid, I guess like all that we are. So, but it's funny how that lady before said all our young kids stood up and won the game. It was quite interesting when the siren blew. Patrick Cripps have something to say there too, but the older crew were spent, but you saw the kids and they were still jumping around like they could play another half a game. They just that much energy in them. So, and you see how much it means to them. They're here for the real deal. Don't give us that no one's playing for the jumper sort of stuff, because these kids are having a crack.
It's a good point, because I'll be honest, deep down this morning I woke up, I had an awful feeling about the day. I don't know, I don't usually go to the footy and say, yeah, I think we're going to lose today, but I just woke up and it just I don't know. I just had this awful feeling that we'd play the Suns into form and the boys would sort of put one of those performances in that historically we get to this point in the year and it's a bit too hard. And I just thought they turned it around and got back to the basics and played the team football. And I mean, made a lot of mistakes, obviously, but I think the team that was willing to take the risk on all game was Carlton and sort of got rewarded for it, at the end of the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, like that lady before, she had everything I wanted to talk about. Lewis Young, yeah, it was great to see him have a crack and enjoy his footy. But I know Brodie Kemp gets a lot. He's a bit of the whipping boy, and he did have some shockers at goal. But it really goes unnoticed what he does do, the team thing around the ground. He does so much. He's very important. He's probably not in our best 23, but who are we going to bring in at this stage when we've got all these injuries? So some of our key players out. So I don't think he needs dropping either, Kemp. I think he does the team thing. He has a real crack. So
yeah, I think what's been forgotten amongst Kemp's season, don't get me wrong, the kicking obviously is an issue and he's got to get better at it and he's got to become more reliable. I'm not doubting that, but this is really his first year as a proper forward. That was supposed to happen last year, which was taken away from him because of the Achilles. I think because he's so available this year, he's playing football, he's playing games, he's out there. And, obviously you're up for criticism if you don't perform, and that's just the way that the beast goes. But if you actually zoom out and take a deep breath, that's his first year as a forward. He's getting opportunities. He's got to convert. That I think there's something to work with there.
Definitely, yeah. None of this trade talk that everyone's saying. It's we need him there. We really do, especially for that backup when we've got injuries. So Walker and Jaggers game today. These kids are. We've got a future. Don't worry about that. Especially with some of these other Cowans and Burns and whatnot. They're good. But I tell you, remember how Silvani used to get the say he gives 100% all the time. He's just the team man. He just incredible at what he does. Will Hayward is that bloke all over. You have a look at the second efforts and the percentages he puts in. He gets annoyed when he's beaten. He's turning into my favourite player now. I haven't got a new favourite player since Curnow left. So, Will's becoming my man. Fair income is a gun. But also, I said Walker and Jagger did all right, but Ollie and Haynes, real important today too. There was a real good team effort today. These are the games we used to lose. We didn't. You said that you had that funny feeling today. I had the opposite. When you have a look at the score worm, how up and down it went today, it was two different games, and the Suns come out the start of each quarter and kick 2 or 3 in a row, and we were 10 points down, and then we'd kick the next 3 or 4 and get back up. They did that in the last quarter as well, and I felt so confident that we would still win that game today.
Yeah, I think it gives the win a bit more merit that it wasn't our way the whole game. It was back and forth. There was, seeds of doubt. The Suns, I mean, they weren't as bad as what they have been over the last few months. They made a game of it. We were challenged, and then even, the injury to Newman, that's just, it's a struggle because we're already lacking Wiedering. So you're already lacking your captain, your vice captain down there. But the mid-game adjustment to that, and I thought even in the middle, Cripps, sometimes we don't praise him because we know how good he is. I thought his work on the inside today, I think I saw he had 15 clearances and 7 of them were from the centre ball up, which is just bonkers.
One of our best again. Absolutely he was. So. But anyway, we live to fight another week. It's good because I didn't like this top 10 stuff to start with, but when you're floating around where we are, it makes these games exciting. It's like mini finals at the moment, and the boys are doing all right. And once we get a few back, I think we're a crack to make the 10. We may not, but it's exciting little road ahead to get there. That's for sure. Bring on Brisbane next week.
Love it, mate. Well, thanks for calling in. Congrats again for winning the Guernsey right there, and thanks very much for your support of the channel.
Thanks for taking me, Tez. Have a good day.
See you, mate. Love that. Matilda Rasmussen with the $2. Kemp did a really good job nullifying Collins. It's a good point. All right, Joe.
I can hear you this week. Thank fuck for that. And thank fuck we got that done, Tez. My God, man. Like, that's as tense a game of footy I can remember. Like, it started pretty dour, and the atmosphere, I think, reflected the dour start. But, mate, by the end, there was edge of the seat stuff in that last quarter, and it was just good to see that when the moments were there. I think the biggest takeaway for me is, like, when the moments were there that we had to take in the clinches, we did the right thing and we executed. Like, you can comment, and I would love to comment on our goal inaccuracy again, but I bang on about it every week, so I won't go there. You can comment on how poor we were throughout the game in terms of taking our moments and putting them away and whatnot, but when it was there to be decided, we never looked in doubt. Never looked in doubt in that last quarter.
Yeah, something I've been doing over the last few weeks is tracking our uncontested possession rate. So we won it again by 90. We're plus 90. There's a shift in the profile of the team, which is interesting because you don't know what's going to happen next year and what the head coach next year wants to do with the team and the direction that the coach wants to go. What do you see from today, if anything, that maybe adds a layer of understanding of what we need for next year, or a player that you maybe weren't sure of that adds a little bit more certainty this year? Anything like that?
It's funny you mention it because I think over the last 4 or 5 weeks, particularly over maybe like 3 out of the last 5 wins, I think we've won games where we either didn't really convincingly win the contested possession or we were like comprehensively beat. So yeah, you're right. Clearly that profile shifted, and it's shifting more towards what the modern game, I guess, requires of you to be able to go with teams. My concern is that we're still too big-bodied, heavy in the midfield, and I don't know how.
Yeah,
I just don't know how quickly you can turn that around. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to bring in a full suite of players like what the Hawks have got, where it's just really skillful by foot and really skillful by hand and being able to get that loose ball and run and gun, right? But the promising signs is that we're able to do it really quickly this year. Once Voss left, once the new coach came in, once the new ideas came with that, we were able to execute that pretty quickly. So as much as our profile still looks very big-bodied, and as tough as that typically might be to turn around, we're probably 1 or 2 players away, I reckon, in the midfield from really, just from really being up. And it's probably the wing, right? It's probably the wing roles. Like, I think that's our weakest area still, is the wing roles. Like, we don't really have a bona fide winger on the list outside of Matt Carroll, who was looking like he was going to take that step. Hopefully he comes back next year, can still have the impact. But from there down, like, you look at Akers, Chera, Cottrell, Ollie Hollands, all 4 of those aren't screaming like game breaker to me. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, look, reality is we're going to add Cody Walker to this list. I don't want to be relying on him too much, but I mean, if Jagger and Dean can have the impact that they've had in their first year, maybe Walker can have some nice impact there.
Yep.
I dare say we could draft maybe another mid or recruit another one for next year. I mean, I'm just seeing in the comments now, apparently Lombard was telling Petrarca to fuck off during the 4th quarter.
He did.
If Leo Lombard doesn't want to play for Gold Coast, I will have Leo Lombard in a heartbeat, Joe.
He's a freak.
He's a
freak.
Heartbeat, mate.
Yeah, he's a freak. He's a freak. Yeah.
I reckon we could poach some of those Suns, man. Like, I look at some of them, and they just got to be put in the right system. I don't know.
Well, I got some mail from a source that's pretty decent that I don't usually hear from too often, but he reckons that there's a few that want out. Like, they're not too happy with Dimmer. So I dare say there'd be some movement there. I don't know if you can poach them if they're in contract. If the Suns will just hold these younger kids to their contract, they probably would. But, like, I don't know. Yeah, for next year, it's just going to be interesting. For now, though, mate, we're still there. We're in the 10 as we speak right now.
Yeah.
Like
It's
it's there to play for. And I said to you last week, I don't care what anyone says, you have to play for it. You've got to try and get some form of finals experience every single year that you play football, at the very least. At the very
Yeah,
least.
I'm with you. I understand when people say, yeah, you're just making up the numbers, but I also understand that we're not a contender this year.
Mm,
But the idea of getting an extra finals game into Cripps and Walsh and these guys, awesome. Taylor Byrne, Jagger Smith, Harry Dean, put him in a final. Get him in. Imagine having a finals game in your first year. Like we don't have first year players that come to this club and play finals straight away. Like
exactly.
yeah.
And it'll be in a final where it's like we've got really nothing to lose. Like there'd be no expectation, right? So go out there and just like play to the best of your ability. Just leave it all out there, see what we can do. It might be a flop, but at the end of the day, for these kids, it's exciting, right? And then the next time you get there, if we're actually in like a top 6 spot, for instance, it's not as daunting. Do you know what I mean? It's not as big of an occasion for these kids. So I'm super impressed with some of these kids, mate. I don't think I've in my 31 years of supporting this club, and for as long as I can remember, I can't remember having this many kids, Wilson, Byrne, Jagger, Dean, and even Ison in that little run, come in their first year and all just explode out of the blocks. Like, it's really good to see, man. We had a lot of kids that we used to sort of play and that we drafted in that Bolton Teague era. And you'd go, okay, yeah, they look exciting, but they didn't really have the impact. These guys are like winning games. Taylor Byrne today won the game for us. He was
He was the
BOG.
game winner today. He was. I don't think we win the game if Taylor Byrne didn't play today.
BOG. Like, just such a good game from him. Harry Dean, mate, when he fired up the crowd in that last quarter, fuck me. He just gets the blood. Like, he gets the juices flowing, that kid.
Agul was it
He's
him and
just,
fucking Ben Long getting into it.
oh,
Fuck off,
mate.
mate.
He's that player that's like,
Yeah.
I can't remember what the guy's name was that was on before me, but like speaking about like Silvani that bled for the jumper, like Harry Dean is fucking that and tenfold. Like he's crazy, mate, to watch. It's so good. So it's exciting. It's good. It's a good win. Like at the end of the day, it's a good win. There was momentum shifts all throughout that game. I think the scoreboard flattered Gold Coast. They kicked 13-5 in the end, or 14-5, whatever it was. Like, it's pretty good kicking. And I think we kicked 14-12 or 15-12 or something. So the scoreboard probably flattered them in the end. If you go look at the stat sheet, Tez, how we didn't win that game by like 7 or 8 goals is beyond me. We absolutely murdered them.
So
And
this is the other part, right? I'm looking at it. 30 scoring shots, elite. Yeah,
Yep.
it's 30 scoring shots. We kicked 16 goals, 14. We challenged corridor all day, paid the price for it, didn't go in our shells. At some point, that like that's gonna get better, right? Like that has to get better. And if that does, the confidence that could come from that, like we haven't had the Avalanche game yet where we're just on and we're accurate and I don't know.
it's reminding me a little, and me and Dan speak about this on the podcast all the time around the Sam Mitchell model at Hawthorn when he first took over. And there's multiple press conferences in his first and second season as coach where he was questioned around their intent and all that. And he just persistently said, we have a way that we want to play. We will stick to that way that we want to play, even after like 70-point losses, 60-point losses. He goes, because I know that if we stick to the process, it will turn. And it was literally this to a T. It was corridor at all costs. You're either going to pay the price and you're going to learn from it, or you're going to be able to score. And we've been doing that pretty consistently since Fraser came in. So as long as we stick to that, as long as whoever comes in as the coach next year has a game plan, has a model that they are confident with, and they stick with it, and they just persistently roll through it, regardless of what the outcome is, I'm with you. I think it turns. It turns at some point.
Mate,
We really don't give AFL football. Sorry to cut you off. We don't give AFL footballers enough credit, right? These guys are at the absolute top of the game. They are all well above average to be able to get to this point in their career, right? They are all skillful. They are all elite. They just need to learn from mistakes, a lot of them. So giving them the time, keep going through those motions, keep going through those processes. you're right. It's going to turn at some point.
I love it.
Wild
Mate.
card, man. Wild card. Got to get there. Just got to
Wild
somehow keep chipping away. Got to get there.
Well, we're one more win away from winning more games than last year when we had the superstars and De Koning and Kerno and all of this.
Yep.
We are one more win away from being better than last year's record with 4 games to go.
Great point. And we're probably one more win away from the Saints from being clear in the 10, and then it's on our terms to finish the year. So,
mate, we had Lewis Young, Mitch McGovern, Brody Kemp as like the key forwards today.
yeah. I mean, yeah, and mate, to the guy's point prior to me as well, we don't have a spine. And anyone that wants to tell me that we don't need Jacob Wiedering can go fuck themselves now. Seriously, mate. As well as good a job as what Dirksen and Dean and all of them have done down back, if you can't see the value that a Jacob Wiedering adds to your back half, you don't know football. I don't care what anyone says. Like that's just plain and simple to me now. So hopefully we get him back soon. Hopefully Harry's back next week. Straighten us up a little bit. See what we can do against the Lions, man. Let's just give it a crack.
I believe it's Cripps 250 next week.
Oh my goodness.
Hang on, let me just confirm.
If there was ever a time, fuck me.
It's Cripps 250 next week.
Oh, if there was ever a time for the skipper. He had 15 clearances today, by the way. 15. 21 contested possessions. Fucking crazy game. Crazy game. Yeah. Anyway, mate, bring on next Saturday. Let's just keep it rolling.
Go Blues.
Go Blues.
All right. Reese.
Tez, good to see you. Nice
Likewise,
to
mate.
get in on an early finish, so able to get on fan camps for once. That's nice. That was a stressful watch at home. I don't know what it was like at the ground for you, but as people have said, that scoreworm was going up and down like crazy. And we seemed to just start every quarter very slow. But good to get the win in the end. I've just bet responsibly, but I've just cashed out my Harry Dean bet because no one is beating Jagger for that rising star now. It is like insane. I don't want to, and I know I think it's Sean on the Prendercast has posted a couple of times about this. No disrespect to Kate McCarthy, brilliant commentator, but I don't know what she's going on about Dersma. I don't understand the Dersma conversation. He's going to be a gun, but I just don't understand how it's not an absolute, multiple lengths down the straight for Jagger at the moment. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought the comments were, I mean, everyone's entitled to an opinion, but the way she framed it, where she said, correct me if I'm wrong, I think she said it's like William Dersma than Daylight. It's like, weird. Well, no, it's not. Especially now. I mean, Jagger today,
he's unreal.
I think he and Byrne, they played way beyond their years today. Like they really, I mean, Matt Rowell's the Brownlow medalist, reigning Brownlow medalist. Noah Anderson is the captain. He's a freak. Yeah. They've got serious talent, the Suns today. And so for Jagger to, he looked like he couldn't be tackled. He's you look at him, people will say he's lightly framed, all of that. He is so clean in traffic. We need about 3 more of them that have that profile, the ones that are just clean in traffic. We've got strong guys. We've got guys that play with heart and soul and some high IQ guys, but we don't have guys like Jagger who just make the hard look easy, and that's what he does.
Yeah. And I did like part of his game today is a couple of times early on, he looks for that perfect possession, which I think is something he probably needs to work on in the off season. But then in the second half, I think he trusted his kicking a little bit more, and he moved the ball a bit quicker because he got caught and turned over a couple of times in the first half. But yeah, he was unbelievable. I thought our pressure was tremendous, and it was just a situation of not taking our chances when we could have. Like Joe said, I reckon we could have won that by 6 or 7 goals today. 52 tackles, but 12 led to holding the ball, which is just like, that's a crazy, crazy stat, I reckon, to be able to get that many holding the balls. Really happy for Kempy, how he contributed, even though he didn't really hit the scoreboard. I would use that as a blueprint for him because I know his confidence just has to be absolutely shook at the moment with his goal kicking. pass it off. If you're going to get, 3 or 4 goal assists in a game, then that's just as good as kicking them yourself, I reckon, which he did. He lowered the eyes a couple of times when he was kind of clear in 50, and it led to like that Gov goal and a couple other goals. So I thought he was good today despite not hitting the scoreboard. So, yeah.
I'll give you another guy that I think must be spoken about today. Francis Evans.
Oh, yes.
And it's not just today. He's month. I'm gonna call it 4 weeks. Something's happened. He's chased down tackles are there. His pressures are lead. He kicks the ball well. What do you have today? At the 17,
2, I think. Kick 2, maybe.
Kick 2, 3 marks, 6 tackles. I thought he and Byrne really set the tone for the pressure. Really set the tone.
He plays like he's a foot taller than he is as well, which I love. A lot of the time he's up against kind of that, sometimes that third tall defender, just the way the matchups work. And he just works so hard to bring the ball down, even if he's outworked. I thought Wilbur played his best game for about a month. He'd had a couple of down weeks in the losses, so I was really happy for him to hit the scoreboard.
He really helped us with his marking. I mean, we miss Harry. And I thought he took a lot of important marks around the ground to just help us control the ball, control the game a bit. Yeah, he lifted.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say Cooper Lord looked a lot more assured today. He had a bit of a shaky game, first game back last week. I think I'd persist with him in the team the rest of the year if we can, because I think his hardness and his tackling is really good. I'd be swapping him and Walshy, because I think Walshy needs to be a bit more outside than he is at the moment. I think he's driving a lot in the middle, and I think Cooper can do that as well. But yeah, look, good to keep in the hunt. We're in the 10 right now, a game clear as we speak. Looks like the Swans are doing the job on the Giants as well, so that helps us as well. Oh, yeah. And then North and Saints play each other tomorrow. So, I mean, I'd rather North win that just because then we can finish the Saints off the week after, hopefully. That'd be nice.
Well, if North win tomorrow, the Saints game becomes an 8-point game.
Absolutely.
Which is just could be magic. It could be magic. It could be Jake in his car, talking about. Yeah. Anyway,
I hate the Saints as well.
Look, listen, look, the Lions are the Lions. They're elite. They're the back-to-back champs for a reason. They're going to come good at the back end. The cream always rises to the top. They know how to manage a season. No one will give us a single chance next week.
No.
But, yeah.
Who knows? It's down here that helps. So, yeah.
Tell you what, maybe Harry back. Week, fucking lid is right back off.
And then, Saints, Dogs. And then, it's a good time to get Freo in the final round. Just before finals, they're not going to want to do anything too hasty, I wouldn't think. Help us out.
This could be the last moment we get to, hope and cope. So yes. I think we'll just take that opportunity to do it.
Exactly. Hey, thanks for that, Tez. Have a great day.
Good on you, mate. Go Cheers, Blues. Mate. Cheers. All right. Riley's in the UK. Let's do it. Riley.
Good performance, I thought. Really, really impressive. Pretty much outside of the first 10 minutes. I mean, it was a real game of momentum swings, but the composure of the group to reset and go again all day, led by a combination of a senior core and a youth that is continuing to impress more by the week. It's there was some real substance about that today, I thought.
Yeah, I was man, I was having a proper sook today. Yeah, today I just got in I don't know what came over me. I was feeling like for sure we'd lose. I didn't know if the group truly believed. Like I watched the D's last night. I know that they lost, but I was watching their belief early in the game that they could beat, win. And I was a bit concerned over the last few weeks what we were leaking at stoppage and the midfield getting beat up, which really at this point, because of the forward line and the way it's struggling, because of the back line, the way it's being held up, the midfield's the only part that we could really, dominate or win. And it wasn't getting the job done. But today, full credit to the midfield. Cripps, Walsh, Jagger, whoever rolled in there, George as well hit the scoreboard again. Like it was.
I think it also helps when you have your first choice ruckman back. And I think realistically, if you look at the last, look at the Richmond game aside, you look at, when we played the Hawks, that's a hard game to assess in the first place because of the conditions early. But then, Darcy Cameron dominated proceedings last week. The difference that having Pitnet in there just as that big bulky body, and to be fair, Moyle had a good day for the Suns. He's a very good ruckman, but just that competitiveness, I think, made the group just lift a little bit more when we would win, hit outs to advantage. It was a lot more on the fly than reactive. So it just, him coming back probably actually made me feel a little bit more confident. I think others felt this week.
You see the synergy between him and the mids, and sort of they know how to work off him. He knows where to put his body, which you don't get a stat for body work in the contest. And you can say, yeah, well, every ruck should be doing it because it's the basics. But Pito has a knack for just knowing how to get in the way of the opposition mids and give his own mids that extra space, because it's a game of margins. And I don't think there's a coincidence that Cripps dominated to the level that he did today and Mark Pitternet playing as well.
100%. Yeah. And I think, even in the time when, Tom was at the club over the last couple of years, there was a reason that Cripps kept wanting Pitternet in the team no matter what. And, it allows him to go to work. It allowed George to go to work at stoppage. Joker goes without saying. And I thought, today we got the midfield rotations correct. I think, today felt like obviously, a couple of standout performances, but a real balanced team performance. I think to me, that's the best performance we've had since the Giants game. At worst, and you could argue in some ways it was probably better considering some of the personnel we had out, losing Newey in the first 5 minutes, which is really, I felt really awful for him, really, considering, how much of a slog it was to get to 150. So you hope it's not a long-termer in his regard, but even. And the great thing is, I actually thought we played relatively okay last week. I thought I probably wasn't as down on the performance itself. So I guess the composure and response since that Hawthorn game, I think from the club's been relatively strong. Still missing opportunities and, burying teams, but you're going to get that with teams that are middle of the road and, on the sample size of the year, we are, we're middle of the pack.
We are. I asked Joe, I think I'll ask most people today, do you see anything from today that either reinforces something in your mind about the future of this team or changes your mind about something for the future of this team?
I think this job, from a coaching perspective, but also from a list management perspective, it just reinforces. I think it's a more attractive job by the week. I don't think the list has holes. There are depth holes. We all know, and we've seen that and understand that. But what is coming through the young core, there's a balanced seniority about the team. Walsh and Cripps are still top line midfielders. You still have very solid. You've got solid personnel down the back, so there's more than enough to work with. It's not a ground zero job. It's far from it. I think if you said to me before the year that we would be 9-10 now or 10-9, this would be exactly where I expected to be. Now, the way we've done it is very different to how I thought that was going to happen, but this is where we thought we'd be. So realistically, in a sense, it's a transition year. And I think from 27 onwards, it's going to, it can develop quite nicely. I'm very optimistic about the future. I like to be optimistic about Carlton when it's all said and done, but I'm optimistic with where we can go. And what we have coming through in a draft perspective, but also what we have on the list. It's not that bad. They can play the modern game. We've seen it.
Can we beat the Lions?
Yes.
What needs to happen in order to do so?
Similar to what you said before, it's almost like as we've transitioned out of the Voss era, at certain times we need that element of back. We need to dominate midfield. It needs to be a midfield dominant performance that I think, that probably needs to be in contest, because I think if there's anyone that moves the ball in the league, over the last 2 years, better than the Lions, it's hard to find. But it's doable. It's more than doable. And if we're talking about Carlton being an emotional club, which we all know we are, the fact that your captain and probably a top 3 to 5 player in the history of the club is playing his 250th next week, finals on the line, you'll expect 45, 50,000 at Marvel next week.
Mate,
It'll be a cauldron. And
I still haven't forgotten. I still haven't forgiven them for like losing his 200th against the Dogs a couple of years back.
No. So it's it's there for the taking, and no one will give us a chance. And we play our best when no one gives us a chance. So absolutely. In fact, we'll win by 9 points.
Oh, if we win next week, it's proper party time.
We will win by 9 points. As of now, probably ask me 15 minutes into the second quarter that question. But no, I've gone too far there. But no, absolutely, we can win this game. And I think there's a belief. I think there is a belief from the playing group that what they are being asked to be executed can win them games, which I think on reflection over the last 12 to 18 months, that might have not always been the case.
We'll buckle up. Big week ahead. We're alive.
Big week, big months. What Dimmer say July was big boy months? Well, we got 4 to go now.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch Dimmer's press conference and him wriggling in that chair, having an absolute cry about everything.
He's a conversation for much later on, but I think there's questions on them as a club and if he's actually made them better.
Mate, I mean, the talent is crazy.
Yeah.
The talent on the park today for the Suns is insane. Experience, the youth coming through. Oh, man. I've never really considered Lombard as an option, but
he's a freak.
If he is not happy with Petrarca being whatever Petrarca is, and if he ever wanted to come and play for the Navy Blue, I think that's the guy you go on.
Well, I didn't mind seeing Bailey Humphrey slot 3 from 60.
Yeah,
just quietly either. But system and work rate beats talent, and we proved it today. But on to next week, it'll be a bigger one.
Go Blues.
Go Blues.
Daniel.
How are you, mate?
I am good, mate. I'm very happy with that win.
Oh, so am I. Very, very gutsy win, grinding it out. And incredibly, in such a win, you think we'll scrap through like a 70 to 60 win or an 80 to 70. We kicked 110 points today. Is that highest or second? I think West Coast we kicked a little bit more, but with a completely makeshift forward line, a team just put together of all sorts, and so just incredible the character we've got. I think you asked the question before: does this make our role, the coaching gig, more attractive? Absolutely. I mean, any coach that's up for a challenge understand there's the massive pressure, and Carlton can be seen as a poison chalice, but a real competitor will relish that. They'll want it. They'll want the chance to work on this team. The potential's there. There's holds as usual. You can see what needs to change, what's the same, what hasn't changed. Those lapses at the start of games and the start of quarters. I mean, the first 5-10 minutes, we probably thought it was a 2:10 kickoff or bounce instead of a 1:05. But also every quarter, did we cop a goal or an inside 50 for a shot in the first minute of every single quarter?
It's a good
I don't know
point.
what it is. Is it?
I think you're on. So Suns obviously started well. So they kicked 3 straight. Ben King kicked the first goal of the second, and then Noah Anderson kicked that unbelievable goal, started the second. Third quarter, Dirksen turnover, which turned into the Humphrey mark and the goal. And then, fourth quarter, Humphrey kicked the long goal early on, and Jed Walter as well. Yeah, good call.
Yeah, so just got to iron those out. So next Saturday, I know enjoyed the win today. Don't want to look too far ahead, but the point about next Saturday is we're playing the reigning back-to-back premiers, probably on track for a three-peat if Freo doesn't stop them. You're not going to get away. You're going to get more punished with those lapses in concentration. Look, it was great that we worked the back, but there's just still those little things. I don't know. is it mental? Is it just the way we set up? Like I thought our midfield was pretty good, and Pitternet was fantastic today. Without him, we probably wouldn't have won the game. But what is it? Because it's a common theme. It happened last year. Like, it just seems that we come out slow out of the blocks at the start of games, but at the start of quarters. So, got to stamp that out. Goal kicking, we all know about that. I mean, Taylor Byrne, mate. If he doesn't get the rising star this week, it's another. But those two that he missed at the end, it's not a criticism. It's just if he can clean that up, if he can be more reliable, because his set shot is a bit inconsistent. I mean, they call him the Chiz, which is like the Chode Wizard, apparently. But you talk about the wizard Nick Watson, he's the standard. If Taylor Byrne can become a more reliable kick for goal most of the time, he could be rivaling him in a couple of years' time. And I don't know, Tez, tell me if you agree with me or not. People who don't want to win or don't want to go even close and just miss out the wild card because we might pay too much for Walker and then we're going to move down the draft order. Two things. The winning culture matters more than anything, okay? I want to win in every game, right? Taylor Byrne, pick 45 of the draft last year. We don't need a stockpile of early first rounders to pick out good players and be successful. We've done that in the past. It's very... I don't know. I used to think like that. It's very old Carlton mentality. If you have the best pick or the most money, you're going to get the best players. No, it's not that black and white. Winning culture trounces everything. You know, you can pick up bargains if you recruit smartly. I mean, Taylor Byrne at pick 45. In the past, I think Cade Simpson was a similar pick. A lot of these early picks, I mean, look at, I like Ashton Moy and I want to see him go, but it doesn't look like he's going to make it. He was an early pick. So, Harry Dean as well to reinforce that. I mean, the way he flexed himself in front of it was Ben Long that he was lipping, and then he beat him in the next contest. And he did I think Cottrell did that years ago. What is it? Is it the Greek Freak in the NBA that does it?
Yeah,
I'm not a big basketball fan, but yeah. Again, we were all saying,
it's a great call. It's a great call you make around the Taylor Byrne. I mean, pick 45. I think Ison might have been a couple later with pick 47 from memory. So I'm with you, man. The thing about today, which is what I was fearing, I wasn't sure if the team were just going to start showing the cracks and then just sort of saying, all right, well, we did well to get ourselves out of the 1-7 hole, 1-8 hole. And, you know, we can end this season now and know that at least we showed something. That there's a spirit to them. I don't think you can understate how hampered we were and how many guys really stood up. Like, we were missing really important pieces today at either ends of the field. So, I don't know. There's a spirit amongst this team that I think, like you said, any coach would want that. Because sometimes you just got to, you need ticker to win this game, and then you need the right strategy. So, with the right strategy and a bit of ticker, we've got a good fan base. We've got a passionate fan base. We've got all the things. We just need the right strategist and development, and away we go.
And of course, you need the right pieces, the list, because the list has got a lot of holes. Look, there's a few players there. I mean, I don't want to single out, but I mean, I'm really disappointed in Cottrell since that GWS game. You know, that was his best game in years, and it was like the 2023 Cottrell. You know, he's dangerous, kicking goals. Don't know what's happening there, if he's still struggling with injury, but you know, he needs to lift and produce a bit more. I mean, we saw, players, the first three quarters, like Brody Kemp, but look, he really redeemed himself in the last quarter, but he's not. We desperately need a key forward. I mean, it goes without saying. We all know what's going on there. Even McGovern, you know, McGovern's McGovern. You get the good and the bad. Often in the space of 30 seconds, he did the good Gov and the funny and bad Gov when he sprayed it. But those two goals, he kicked almost identical spots on the ground, on opposite ends of the ground. Like, again, big. You know, Benny fucking Ainsworth was up for it today. A couple of clutch moments, mate. So he's probably had a bit of a point to prove against his old club. But yeah, that footage, I'm with you, mate. Let's try and raid the Suns, because there's something going on there. Who was the player that told Petrarca to fuck off? Was it?
Apparently, it was Leo Lombard. I haven't seen the footage. Someone was telling me in the chat. I just
It
haven't
was-
spoken about him because
yeah.
I've just looked at him as such a ungettable player. But if he's not happy and he wants to come to Melbourne, mate, he is exactly what we would need.
I mean, look at the talent they have. And I was ripping my hair out. We kept kicking it to Mac Andrews' head. We cleaned that up, but early on. So again, some of those, what's still there, those old habits, the bombing it long and everything. But I felt now, I don't know if this was the players or Fraser or a combination. We worked it out as the game went on. And that's the biggest difference between Fraser and Voss. We can change game modes in game. And I think I said last week, Josh Fraser, I mean, he's done 8-2. That's incredible. 80% win rate as a caretaker. It's probably never been done over such a big sample size of games. Like I said last week, if he didn't step into this caretaker role, he probably wouldn't have even been in the top 10, at the start of the year. Who are the next coaches in waiting? He wouldn't have even been considered. So him coming in and do this, does it say that he's a great coach, or does it say how bad or how stubborn Vossi was and how much the game had gone past him? We won't know, of course, but it's just great that we're still in there. We're in the 10 right now. We might not stay there, but we've got a chance. We've got a chance. And it will be funny we might not beat the Lions. I'd love to, but that's going to be tough. But I think we can beat the Dogs. We can beat the Saints. And if it comes down to Freo in the last game, that will be pretty epic. Given our rivalry, they might have nothing to play for. But we know if there's one team Freo doesn't like playing, it's Carlton. So, but let's see, 1 week at a time. Lots of good signs, lots to work on. But yeah.
Love it, mate. Go Blues.
Go Blues, mate. See you next time.
There you go. Matt.
Terry, how you going, mate? Can you hear me?
Good, mate. Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, all good.
Talk to me, mate. What did you see today? Did you go?
Yes, I did. Similar to yours, it was very frustrating in the start. Wasn't really enjoying it. I think just because felt like we kept handing the ball back to Gold Coast, turning it over in dangerous areas. It felt like that we were our own worst enemy at times. But the impressive thing was that we didn't fall away, and we showed a lot of good spirit. And considering that we had no Harry and no Weeders, two big pillars, I thought we fought it out really well and showed a lot of character. It was a win of substance.
Yeah, it was. And, I'm going to play a little clip during the week, which was a certain individual had a really interesting thing to say about our team.
As soon as their name was back in the frame to contend wildcard, they've lost last two. They only just beat Richmond as well.
The most mentally weak group I've seen. And it's not by design.
So that one was for you, Kane Corns.
Yeah. All right, there's one thing I want to mention. I want to give a shout out to Brodie Kemp because, again, playing severely undersized, coming up against Sam Collins, absolute unit. Sam Collins, obviously one of the best key backs in the game, and he did put a shift in. Brodie didn't get any reward for himself, but he did a lot of good things. I think he laid a couple of good tackles early on. And then two key moments in the fourth where he had the ball in hand and he was able to pick out someone. But yeah, look, he's copped a lot because of his inaccuracy, and that is a problem. And I get why people get frustrated, but I think we need to look a little bit deeper than just that.
Well, it's a great point. I think he showed something today. He showed a bit of speed today, the way he ran off. I mean, the idea of Kemp with two forwards ahead of him, that's the idea that I have.
Yes,
that's
100%.
That's where I think we can do something. Like, I'll just use Ben King as an example. If Ben King was our full forward today, and then we had a Harry Mackay, and then a Brodie Kemp is like the next, that's where it gets enticing for me. But Kemp is your number one. He's going to struggle.
Yeah, and even with Harry in the team, he's been playing as the deepest forward and still getting the key backs at times. So you're right, yeah. So if we brought in one more, I think he would thrive a lot more, because I'm seeing a lot of positive things in him. Even though things aren't going his way, he's not getting too down on himself. He's still involved in the game in different ways, things that don't look necessarily pretty on the stat sheet. But yeah, I thought he did enough to get some credit today. There was a few that stood out. Obviously, Taylor Byrne and Jagger, super impressive. Yeah, spewing for Taylor that he missed those two gettable ones because it would have been a perfect day for him. But I thought he was immense with his pressure, and then he got reward, being able to finish as well when he did. So yeah, that was super impressive too.
You know, another guy as well today, I thought Wade Dirksen played I think every week he plays, he's found a really good way to. I sense every time I watch him play this year, he does something in every single game, which leads me to believe he's just getting better every week. I like him. I like him on the list. I think there's a spot for him there.
100%. I think, no disrespect to Lewis Young, I think he's probably been holding on to that spot for quite a while in terms of being that first tall key position player back in when someone's out. Whether Dirksen can have that role in the squad and still be able to perform, or whether he needs to be someone that needs to be playing weekly to play at a high level is another story. But you're right, he's definitely got a role on the list going forward. But yeah, he was impressive, and I think he's starting to get a lot of confidence in using his body and working forwards under the ball and being able to take the mark. Yeah, I thought he was really good at that today, and even his ball use. I think there was a couple that were a bit. He cost us a couple of times, but the fact that he's got the confidence to take them on and he does hit them, I think it's super impressive as well for someone of his size.
100%. I mean, today was a day where you're reminded why you have a list and you don't just have a best 23.
Yeah.
Or, because Lewis Young's got to play a role today. Dirksen's got to play a role while Wiedering's out. There are guys playing that, wouldn't play if everyone was healthy. But again, you got a list of 40, 45, whatever it is. We've used a good chunk of the list. We've debuted, I think 6 players have played for Carlton for the first time this year, maybe 7. So, yeah.
Yeah, we've brought in some important pieces. I think Ainsworth's been an incredible addition. Hayward, just having a natural finisher in front of goal has made a huge difference, something that we've lacked for a while. And then, super promising signs for Taylor Byrne for a first-year small forward. He's doing all the dirty work, and then he's been able to get reward on the scoreboard as well. So that's really exciting for him. And then obviously Dean settled really well, first year key position player. Love the way he went over to the crowd after winning that spoil as well, getting the Blues fans involved. I'd love to see more of that.
I love the way that we lifted, he's got, do you call him a cult hero already?
100%, because he's got that. I think he's already got a connection with the fans where when he does something positive or even has possession of the ball, he's already getting a reaction.
Yeah. Next week, can we beat the Lions in your view?
Look, I feel like I know what version of us we're going to get because we're heavy underdogs, and it obviously usually works in our favour. Whether we can get the win, not to be negative, but I feel like it might depend on what version of the Lions you get. They're definitely vulnerable. If we can win it at the source, I feel like that's somewhere where we can't afford to give up a lot of opportunity because they will just punish us, especially without Wiedering there if they move the ball quickly. So I'm even as a supporter, and the players are probably the same. We're always a bit more comfortable in this scenario where we're not favourites. But yeah, it'll be really tough, but it might depend on what version of the Lions you get. But yeah, we've obviously got to bring our best. And is it Cripps' 250th next week?
It's Cripps' 250th, and then the chat was saying that it might be Nick Haynes' 250th as well.
Yeah.
Let me check.
So
I'll tell you right now. Yeah, it's the double 250.
Nice. Yeah. Got to pack it out.
Come on, man. Rise to the fucking occasion, lads.
Yeah.
It would be, oh, man. It would be unbelievable if we find a way next week. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. I hope we just play with a bit of freedom as well. Obviously, not being the favourites, I feel like that's where we can thrive, especially in the way that Fraser's trying to get us to play and move the ball. Didn't really pay off today at times, and it kind of cost us. But yeah, if you keep going and you keep taking the game on, you will get rewarded.
Well,
So
the way forward is through the corridor. You know, we've done territory, Voss ball. I mean, there's always a time where you got to go down the line.
Yeah.
But the way forward for this group and this team is to learn how even when the defense plugs the hole and it's hard to find space in the corridor, how can you
Yeah.
create space in the corridor, which means selfless running and unrewarded running to create space for someone else. That's what the good teams do. They find a way to create space for their teammates, and that's the way forward for this team.
100%. A lot of it is mental, and I think a problem under Voss that we used to have was when things started to go against us, we would go into our shells and stop taking those risks without the footy and moving, taking those unselfish runs and trying to open up the ground. Really loved the way that Billy Wilson's doing it, making those forward runs ahead of the ball, and then he's so exciting when he gets the footy in hand and the ground just opens up in front of him. He's a great underrated user of the ball as well. I feel like he's got a really good kick on him, nice kick on him. I actually thought that was one of Jagger's, maybe his best game. I don't know. I might be off.
He played like a real leader. Like he played like a real senior head. Picked his moments. He's so clean. If only Cody Walker could play right now.
Yeah. Been trying to look at where they would fit him into the midfield rotation and who would be the one to come out, but we'll worry about that when we get to it, Cody. But Jags today, I thought he was super composed today, and it's the most composed I've seen him, and I think it's just a confidence thing. I feel like the last few weeks he started to really feel like he not only belongs at this level but can thrive at it and own it, and I feel like that's a huge positive for us. I think he's able to give us that piece in the midfield that we kind of don't get from Walsh and Cripps ahead of the ball, like forward of the ball. Being able to, he's obviously spoken about himself. He really wants to have his score involvements high, and I reckon today he would have got double figures. I reckon. I haven't seen it yet, but I feel like he did.
Jagger?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
score
had.
involvements.
I'll tell you right now. Jagger Smith. He had 6 score involvements.
Only 6, okay.
Cripps had 10. Taylor Byrne had 12. George Hewitt had 8. Francis Evans had 8. I thought Francis Evans as good as anyone today. Does
all the dirty work. When you run down tackles, mate, it's just the best when you see them live at the footy. It just gets you up, and such an energy provider, and I love that from Francis.
That is how you get the Carlton crowd activated. It's actually 100%. Not goal. Like goals are good.
Yeah.
It's defense, chase down tackles, because that lets the crowd know, all right, hey, we're invested in this. We actually want to try and win this game. And I think Carlton crowds, from my perspective in the last couple of years, we sort of, if we can see the boys that want it, we'll get on. But
100%,
if we can see the boys, it's conditional, we won't bother. So it's good to see them turn
felt
on.
like that a little bit early too, didn't it? It was very quiet. I know there was only 26,000 there, but you're right. The energy from the start didn't quite feel right, but then once we got going, it all of a sudden felt like there was 40,000 there.
Yeah. I love it, mate. Thanks for calling in. Speak to you soon.
Thanks, mate. Enjoy your night. Thanks, Tez.
See ya. All right. Got a couple more here. By the way, guys, Paul, if you're still in the chat, I'm going to give away this Guernsey today. The 2026 team signed Guernsey. I'm going to give it away probably at the end of the fan cams. We'll finish when everyone is finished calling in. We'll do the press conference, and then I'm going to give it away. So this is exclusive to members. So if you are a Blue Abroad member, that's the only way you have an entry. If you'd like to sign up, I've got a link in the live chat. If you prefer the monthly, let me know. I'll put the monthly link in there. But I will be spinning the damn wheel and giving away that Guernsey. Mr. Henriksen, as discussed at training with you, we need a kicking coach who is also a bit of a psychologist. Need to improve techniques and handle pressure. Yes, it's a big one. Imagine we got that right. 30 scoring shots today with a bit more kicking technique. Chris, cannot hear you.
Sorry, I had mute on. How's the audio? Good enough?
Gotcha.
Beautiful. I'm just at the station about to catch a train. Had to hop on, Terry. How's the night been? How's the day been so far?
Yeah, good. I'm relieved. I just, I don't know. I wasn't sure about the group, and I thought I started seeing some cracks and some selfish play, and I thought it might be getting a little bit too hard for the group. But listen,
Okay, I got a lesson because I had to keep telling my dad. And dude, last week on the cams, I came on after the Collingwood loss, and I just said, guys, I think we get stuck in the moment a little too much. Things aren't always so bad. You got to give them a chance to come back every time. These boys, they showed it 4 times today, 4 quarters. They let a bit go, and they came back. That's just them right now. My message last week was that we got to stop getting too sucked into the losses and the times when things aren't good. Because look at them, man. Look what they're providing, It's pretty crazy.
I think Josh Fraser described it well when he said, in the losses, like we shouldn't be catastrophizing the losses.
It is so true. It is true. It is true. And this shows you, man, they've got something there. And I know everyone's talking about next week, Brisbane. Just go in with a little bit of, hope, but not overly expecting. I don't know. They've got something there. Just give them the hope to continue. Give them the support to continue, these boys, man. Look at what we've got going on, man. Taylor Byrne. Look at this kid. Look at this kid go, dude.
Mate.
A bunch of them. It's crazy. Before I hop off, man, Lewis Young as well. I want everyone to learn a lesson from today that when Lewis Young gets picked next time, instead of going to social media and trashing this guy, how about you get behind him? Because now you can see the quality of since 2025, I've been thinking, man, this guy, he might not be amazing, but he's a big boy who can play back, ruck, and forward, and that kind of flexibility is worth the money he's on. And if you don't think so after today, you don't know what you're talking about. So big up Lewis Young. He needs a pat on the back. Sorry, I'm just more talking at you, Terry. I really can't hear much. I just wanted to get in and just be like, I like that. Let's go, boys. Keep the energy. Doesn't matter what happens next week. Even if they get down next week, they'll come back the week after. That's it. Anyway, have a good rest of the session, mate. I'll catch you later.
See you, mate. That was excellent. Mr. Beach.
Hey, Tess. How we doing?
Good to see you, mate.
Likewise.
That was a good day out at the football today.
Well, one of the better days we've had in the last couple of weeks, actually, despite the obvious streak before that. So, always nice to beat Gold Coast at home, and it would have also been nice to have beat them away as well. But you know what? It's even better to beat them at home. So we'll go again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, the next month, we're at Marvel. Conditions will be manufactured, but they will be perfect. It'll be loud and an echo chamber in there. It'll be, there's such an opportunity to finish the season strongly, and there's a bit of a reward at the end. You might be playing off in a wild card, and last time we played in a final series where we maybe weren't supposed to be there or we were making up the numbers was probably 2024, but 2013. That was a special day as well. But yeah, how are you looking at what happened today and in the context of the rest of the season? Where's your head at?
Well, I mean, first of all, let's touch on what you just touched on previously. The 2024 final series, making up the numbers, 2013 when we got in by default. That's happened. We move on to bigger and better things. In terms of the rest of the season, I mean, look, we're going to get the wins where we can get them. So we'll take the win today. I mean, I don't want to think we're still. I don't think we're going to go too badly from here. I mean, next week for us is obviously going to be a test. We do have Brisbane at home, and it's not hard to deny the fact that they've had the wood on us a little bit lately in the last few games we've played against them. But this squad seems to be, I'm not going to say completely settled, but does have an idea of what it wants to do and how it wants to do it. The question is, can we be consistent with it for long enough against the better sides? Because Brisbane have won the last 2 flags in a row.
Yeah, look, they're a great team, and they're a flag contender this year. So it's together with Fremantle, two of the harder teams you could be playing. However, we did seem to go well against them in the second half up at the Gabba last time we played. So I don't know. I won't go in with expectations, but I'd love to go there. And if the Lions are going to beat us, I'd love for us to force them to like really sweat it out and grind and have to play their absolute best.
Well, I reckon that's just what we have to ask for at this point, because if we don't make the wild card spot, okay, fine, but at least make them earn that spot that they're trying to get after. Because at this point, we don't want them to give them an easy run. We don't want to give them an easy run into September. We don't want to give them, oh, here we go. Here's a nice little head start for you. We actually want to make you earn that spot. That way you actually can think to yourselves, right, we've done what we're supposed to do, but we had to do it the hard way. But in another way, if we're back home for a finals game, then we can say, right, we've had that experience. We've got the preparation that we've had. We can now reload for another game.
Yeah, absolutely. Unsung hero today. Who was it?
Well, I've heard people mention Taylor Byrne, including your good self. I've heard people mention Francis Evans. But I'm going to say one thing. Moo! Lockie Cowan.
Yeah.
Lockie Cowan in defence. He was going for the ball, taking the contested mark, putting his body on the line, and did not give a shit who was around him. If he wanted that ball, he was going for it.
Yeah. He took a really important intercept mark, I think late in the fourth as well. He and Harry Dean have this interesting chemistry with them. When Harry Dean gets stuck into an opposition player, Cowan just gets right in there straight away. They've formed this interesting. It's like they're both. I mean, Cowan's been at the school of twatology for a couple of years now, but Dean's come in now and he's like his understudy. It's father twat Nick Newman injured, so Lockie Cowan had to step up and take the reins. But I like the two of them and their attitude.
Oh, well, I mean, I was going to mention Harry Dean as well, but I reckon a few people have already done that. But there was one moment with Harry Dean that got my attention. It was down our end. Some stupid Suns player was trying to throw their weight around. Harry Dean was like, "Nah, mate, back off. I've got you covered." And then he turned to the crowd and he's like, "That's the one. Yeah, that's the one." And then the rest of us were like, and he turned to us and he was like, "Come on." And then we got right into that. So I was very happy to see Harry Dean throw his weight around like that, just like his old man used to back in the day.
Yeah, mate. Just under 27,000 people today. It actually reminded me of the crowd when we played them in 2023. Do you sense that there was a bit of a lack of belief maybe from the Carlton faithful, and that's why we didn't get a big turnout today?
Maybe, but there could have been a whole number of other factors as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, what you're saying is probably a consideration, but there were a lot of people that might have had school sport on, and that would have made things a bit harder to get down. And then today also being a double header at Marvel where you've got the Bulldogs and the Tigers playing later, that may have also put into consideration as well. But there could have been a whole number of factors for it, Terry. So the fact that I heard 23,000 as a crowd number, that surprised me a little considering it was a Saturday afternoon. But we were playing Gold Coast, and respectfully to them, not many of them would have travelled down. So look, there could be a whole number of factors to that.
Do you think there will be 26,000 people show up for Patrick Cripps' 250th next week?
Not a chance. Not a chance. If it's his 250th, we know Brisbane are going to show up because of the Fitzroy connection, but we always get surprised by how many of them show up, whether they fly down or whether they're Melbourne-based Brisbane supporters. No, I reckon we might nudge. I reckon we might nudge a 40, maybe high 30s, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah. Where are you? Because I don't see the library.
I'm at home. I'm just on the couch in another room, because the library's in the other section, and I just needed to see what was going on in the rest of the footy games as well. So here we are.
Love it, mate. Well, good to see you. Have a great rest of your Saturday and go Blues.
Go Blues. Thanks, Tez.
See you, Beachy.
Cheers.
So good. Oz Eights with the $2. Thank you, mate. We needed this win today and we got it. Go Blues. Yes, sir. Aiden.
Hey, Terry.
I'm going to bring you out and I'm going to bring you back in. And I want that fucking frown to be turned upside down.
Yeah, no, all good.
Aiden.
Hey, Terry.
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. This is a little bit different. Changed my setup. Back on my bed.
That's all right, mate. Well, yeah, I think you might be a bit busy tonight watching the replay.
Oh, yeah, possibly. I've got nothing else planned on. It will probably be the first replay I'd be watching in probably weeks. So yeah, it should be a fun watch.
Were you there today?
Yeah, I was there. It was a good day out for the footy. I thought the crowd would be, a bit what do you call it? I thought there'd be more than 20-something thousand. It sounded more than 20-something thousand.
Yeah, it was by the end it did. Yeah, it was 26,000 something. And then by the time it got to the fourth quarter and there was the belief and the little mini comeback from the Suns and then the Blues turned it around, it was rocking in there. Also, before I let you go, Rocco, I had the same question. Phone situation. What was it today?
I just put it on charge, but it's 18% now, but earlier it was around 60 to 70.
Well done, mate. Very proud of you. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Just another thing is that, look, I think, I don't know, the time slot wasn't that great. I think the AFL need to get rid of these double headers and all that. I don't like them. But look, I'm not really complaining. Win's a win. I thought we wouldn't have won that today because I thought Gold Coast were probably, they were due for a win. And yeah, the fact that we bet arguably a pretty decent midfield, that's probably, I mean, they're not better than ours because clearly we bet them. But prior to the game, you'd probably think that the one area that they would probably win it is in there. And we smashed them in parts of the game today. But the one thing that I have, it's a bit of an issue that can be a quick fix is our ball use. Our ball use at times was a bit iffy, but again, I mean, you play footy for 2 hours and it's not going to go perfect. But again, look, I mean, a win's a win. You need to take them now. Our season's still alive. I think we're in the top 10 still, which is great. And look, I didn't know that it was Cripps' 250th next week, so I'm definitely coming. I cannot miss that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to look too far ahead of next week. But if there's a game that a lot of people should go to, should be that because
I'll give you a name of a player today who we also haven't mentioned, and I've just reminded myself now. George Hewitt. He kicked 3 goals today.
He's possibly our best forward.
Well, if I just go, I want to bring him up ever since he was dropped, right? George Hewitt, number 29. I reckon in the last 5-6 weeks, I reckon he might have kicked 8 to 10 goals. I could be wrong. He's kicked. So what are we? Yeah, I am wrong. He kicked I'm completely wrong. I don't know. He kicked 2 goals against the Eagles, 2 goals against Richmond, goalless the next 2 weeks after that, 3 goals today. I just think he continues to show an evolved version of himself.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder why he got dropped in the first place.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that. But
Who are your
yeah.
votes today? If you were given 3, 2, and 1.
Oh, far out. One I'll probably go. One's top here. Is one like top or does it say?
Rank your best players from 1 to 3.
Probably go with Burn, Jagger, and George. I reckon them three. Special shout out to Lewis Young, who I thought that was probably one of his best games since round 1, 2023. And if I'm being completely honest, I will keep him in next week. I think he did what he needed to do. He did his role. I'm sure you heard some of the little, what do you call it? There was a bit of a worry whenever he got the ball or when he took those 2 Gold Coast players on. I think, the supporter base did give him a little bit of credit because, again, I think every club has a player like that. And I think you need a player like that just, comes in, comes out, does his role, and that's it. But, look, I thought all of them were pretty decent today. It was unfortunate that knew we had to go down. But I think today would also be not a big learning lesson for Dean, but I think, this would be a game that he'll probably go back and learn off because I think King was probably a little bit better than him at times. And then again, it's surprising because no one has actually said that we miss Wiedering. In the last couple of years, that'd be our number one sort of narrative that without Wiedering we're cooked. But ever since Wiedering has gone out of the team, we seem pretty balanced. And you need to thank Nick Haynes for that because he's practically that leader down there. I thought he stood up fairly well today, not only today, but over the last few weeks especially. So, look, we just need to keep winning games.
That's it.
That's the end of it.
So, we've won 9 games. We've matched last year's total.
Wow.
1 win away from being better than last year. What is a success for you by the end of this year?
I mean,
is it more wins than last year, therefore successful, or is it same wins as last year, but the less turnover and all these things, lost the coach, therefore successful? Or how do you view it?
I think you just probably got to win more games because I think I've said throughout the year that the more wins that you get, especially with the current list that we have now, which is fairly younger, it'd be more beneficial for them, especially with Walker coming into the team. But again, it's actually pretty surprising that we've matched our total wins from last year because as it stands, we're arguably better than last year with the way that we're playing and the way that we're competing each and every single game. But I think for me, it's that. And it's also, do everything that you can to finish in a wildcard spot. I think that would be absolutely brilliant for especially our younger players, if not the whole team.
Yeah, I think everyone. Yeah.
Because to come from 1 and 8 to playing in a playoff would be absolutely unreal. And again, the narrative about Fraser coaching us next year or not will just get heavier and heavier, even though, there's reports that Enright will probably be our coach next year and Fraser will obviously be next to him. But just keep winning games. Now, next week will probably be, a little bit of a tough ask, but if you get, 40K there next Saturday in, the captain's 250th, who knows? Anything can happen. We've pulled a lot of surprises this year. I don't think anyone in the whole entire world, not only in the AFL, would think that we'd come back from 1 and 8 to being 10th. So, and look, Brisbane, they've had, they're not pretty too. They've had their moments of getting belted against GWS and, losing a few games that they should have won. And, they just got over the line against West Coast last week, with all due respect to them. So, look, I'm fairly pumped about next week. And this is probably I don't think you've seen me this optimistic all year. So
Can I just say, the blurred background thing that you usually do,
yeah,
unnecessary. Just what you've got going on right now, you look like a different human being.
yeah, no, that's fair enough. Yeah, I don't
I don't think I've
know.
ever seen your teeth. It's great.
I don't know why I had it on. Like there was nothing behind me, so I don't really know like what I was hiding. But yeah, look, if this is going to make me more optimistic, then I'll just keep having this. So, but look, where do you like? Where do you things go? Where do you see things going now? What do you think will happen? Because it's a tough 4 weeks. Like let's face it, like our next 4 weeks are. I wouldn't say they're very tough, but again, I think we could probably pinch 2 or 3 wins. To be honest with you.
Look, before today, when I looked at the 5, I looked at, honestly, Brisbane and Fremantle is all right. Like there's just levels above to this game, and we're not at their level. However, the Suns, the Saints, and the Dogs, I look at all 3 of those games and I think we could win any of those, like all of those 3. I'd go into any of those 3 matches saying, yeah, we can win. Brisbane and Freo are very, very tough, and there's a reason why they're at that end of the ladder. And there's a reason for that. And the levels to the game rear their head, and they have over the last few weeks. Hawthorn, Collingwood, all of that. But we also said that against the Giants away. We also said that against Geelong.
Port Adelaide too.
Port Adelaide, yeah. Look, anything can happen. It's sport. I just don't want. What I was fearful of today was that we would just fall off, and that was sort of pack it up, end of the season. And I think historically over the last 10, 15 years, we've gotten to this point in the year, and it's that kind of game you can slip up. But no, look, full credit to the team that they played well. They responded. They seemed to learn some lessons from the last few weeks. And mate, 9 wins.
How much do we need to qualify?
Look, I think it's 11 or 12 wins.
Oof. I mean, let's face it. You said that Fremantle. I mean, yeah, that Brisbane and Fremantle, they're tough, but I think we probably have Fremantle at a good time because they're probably not going to. Their next 3 games are winnable, and they could go into that last game. And I think it happened 10 years ago where they rested the majority of their team in the last game of the year before the final series, and I think they lost that. So they could, possibly give us, I wouldn't say a free win, but a chance to win that.
Yeah,
but
mate.
Again, there's a lot left to play out. But the one difference that is with this team compared to the last few years, even when we were doing pretty well, is that they're not giving up. Like throughout this year, especially early in the year, and even last year, is that look at that. I think first quarter and the second quarter, because I'm pretty sure Gold Coast, they kept kicking scores on the board, and it was just a game of momentum. Like if they kicked 3, we'd kick 3. Normally we'd just drop our heads and then see you later. But this team they got grit now. They got a little bit of ticker, which is good.
Yeah.
But look, there's a lot left to play out, and again, it's exciting because I hope I can see us making the wild card, but again, it's in their hands now. If they want it enough, then it's in their destiny. So
it is.
See what happens.
All right, mate. Good to see ya. Go Blues.
See ya.
Paul, I see you there. I'm going to bring you in. I just want to show you guys. Dione, thanks for sending me this. This is the footage of Leo Lombard telling Christian Petrarca to fuck off. So just have a look here. Petrarca's absolutely lambasted. There it is. So just have a look. So Petrarca wanted the ball, I guess, and then he's absolutely launched into him here. And then he's given him the old fuck off. So there you go. Oh my God. If the result of this game means that Leo Lombard wants to leave Gold Coast, that's the one. All right, back to the UK. We have Paul. Hello, sir.
Hello, mate. How are you today?
What a bloody brilliant win.
It was, wasn't it? It was well worth getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch it. I'll tell you, it was well worth it. Loved it.
So take me through what you just go to bed early last night and set the
Yeah,
alarm.
I just went to bed early, set the alarm for 3:45, got up in the dark, and just put the telly on, and away we go. And now I'm sitting here. It's just past 9 o'clock in the morning. It's already about 27 degrees, and it's going to be up to 30 today again, as we're still in this heat wave over here. Every day, mate. Every day is sunny and hot at the moment.
Yeah. Well, the sun was shining on you and the sun was shining on the Blues today. What did you make of the performance?
Yeah, look, there's no such thing as an easy win for us, is there? And most of the time they should be, not wanting to go into our kicking woes, but if we had reliable goal kickers, I wouldn't need to be grabbing my defibrillator every week, because it just keeps the pressure on us the way, if you only have to look at the ratio of goals against behinds every week. And if you look at Gold Coast today, they kick way more goals than behinds. And then you look at our accuracy. So it just makes everybody have to really work hard to grind out the win. And that said, we did. The boys stepped up. We went ahead, then we went behind, and maybe a few months ago we would have lost that game. But the boys have got belief. We've got some great players, some great young players, and for me, there was a few standout moments. Not sure if they've been covered today, but certainly Georgie Hewitt. I mean, doesn't he come up and kick goals just at the right time, just when you need them? He is there. Mr. Composure shows everybody how it's done, and just nails it. Was it 3 goals today?
He kicked,
Just
so
nails
he
it.
had 24 possessions. He kicked 3 goals, 1, and I have a feeling he had a fair chunk of score involvements as well. 8 score involvements, 4 inside 50s. Good luck giving Brownlow votes out and coaches votes to that one. And he was excellent.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of other shout outs. I mean, Hayward. I mean, that mark and that goal in the fourth quarter. I think it was at that point that I knew we were going to win, and it was such an impressive mark he took. And he always kicks goals when it really, really matters. Another one, a big shout out to Frankie. I mean, those 2 massive tackles. That guy never stops working, never stops running, and he hits them so hard. I absolutely love it. And it's events like that that change games, lift your teammates, and all of a sudden you've got the momentum and the belief comes back. And look, finally, lots been said. Taylor Byrne, his contribution today was massive. Look, if he'd kicked those 2 goals, he would have had the perfect game. But that will come. He really is our pocket rocket. What a talent. What a
Mate.
talent there.
Yeah, 18 years of age. It's like you got to pinch yourself and just remind yourself that how young he is. Pick 45, 18 years of age. There's just sprinklings, obviously, throughout the year where we've put games into the right people, and it's going to serve them well. And Taylor Burns even a story about the VFL and how you shouldn't be thinking down of the VFL. Like he came in, he got a taste, he went back to the VFL, worked on some things, and then ever since he returned, he's just been a different player.
Yeah, I mean he's been superb, and hopefully Ison will come back just as strong. That may be the start of next season, but I'm sure we've got loads to look forward to from him as well. Look, so much to look forward to. Yes, we're not going to win the flag, but can we make the wild card? Yeah, of course we can. Can we win next week? Yes, of course we can. You know, we can surprise the Lions. You know, I predicted that we'd win 4 of our last 5, and we got 1 today. We're still on course for that. Yeah, we can definitely do it. Our season is not over. And yeah, if we kick a few more goals, we will get definitely some more comfortable victories as well. And we'll all feel a lot better.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for calling in, mate. Might be calling you later on because the shirt over there, it's somebody's going to be taking it home.
Yeah, look, whoever gets it, mate, it will go to a deserved Blues home. Yeah, look, great to speak to you again, and we'll catch up soon.
Good on you. Thanks, Paul.
Go Blues.
Go Blues. Zach Borg.
How are we, mate?
We're up and about, Zach.
Oh, we're up and about. Says this is yeah, mate. Blues are back. Yeah, I'm. How good? How good was that win? I mean, bloody hell! How good? Like, first of all, how have you been? How did you find the game
Yeah,
and stuff?
I've been good. I found the game entertaining, back and forth. It wasn't easy. We were challenged every single quarter. The Suns' quality was there on display, but I think the team that wanted to grit for longer won the game today, and that's what I thought we did.
100%, 100%. I couldn't
How
agree
you,
more. I
mate?
mean, yeah, I've been all right. I mean, it was a good win. How good are those kids? I mean, those young guys just stepping up. They've all matured now, you could say. I think that you could say. I think they just play with so much confidence. I mean, how good was Harry Dean? He doesn't care. He just gives it to anyone. He was hyping up the crowd, and he in the first half, Ben King kicked a few, but he had Ben King covered for the rest of the game. And I thought our defense was very, 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 very good today. A few times today we could have. It was a bit shaky, but I feel like it was really good. I thought Taylor Byrne. I mean, bloody hell, Burn! Every time he scored a goal, just yell that out, and it was just he was good. He's come a long way. I mean, after that Collingwood game, he's put in a lot of work. As we've noticed, he's improved a lot under Josh Fraser, and these kids are just going to continue to keep getting better. And just with a new coach, if it's Fraser, if it's Kelly, or what's that other guy's name? The guy from St Kilda. Forgot his name.
Darcy Wilson?
No. Coach.
Corey Enright.
Corey Enright. So whoever it is, these kids will, be under a proper system, and they'll could just continue to get better. And I thought today we could point out Cripps. We could, because Cripps is good every week. I mean, let's be honest. He hadn't the last 2 weeks. He didn't have the best of weeks. I mean, he absolutely smashed him in that midfield today. We smashed him in the clearances. Captain Cripps doing what he does best. I mean, and we could point out Cripps, we could point out Byrne, we could point out all these players. Ainsworth. But I thought every single one of them played well. People might have be criticising Kemp. Obviously, early on, I don't think he was great, but I thought 2 assists he had. He plays the team role, and I thought he was really well. Played really well. I thought even Lewis Young, playing that ruck role, like he had some really, really, really good moments. Yeah, but I thought also today we really saw the importance of Jacob Wiedering, which Joel said when he was on. We really miss him at times because he's really important to our spine, and we can clearly see that spine is missing. So, mate, wild card, get there, Tez. Fucking get there. It's fucking on.
Well,
come on.
We got to get there next. There's got to be, people were saying, 30, 40. There's got to be 50,000. It's Cripps' 250th.
Nick Haynes.
We have to show up next week.
Well,
we
Nick
can't
Haynes
be
250.
We can't be getting to the Marvel next Saturday night and there's like 39,000 people. I'm sorry. Like rubbish.
That's right.
Has to be packed
That's
out
right.
next
It has to be good numbers. And I thought today, especially against Gold Coast and the time slot, our fans showed up. Tez, it's always good to chat to you. Go the Blues, Tez! Come on! It's coming,
See you,
mate.
Zach.
We're the wild card. We're making it to the wild card. Go Blues. On to Brisbane next week. See you, Tez, mate. Love you. Have a good
See you,
night.
Zach. You too, mate. Amazing. All right. So we're going to listen to the presser and then I'm going to give away the Guernsey. Blue Abroad members, you are entered. There's nowhere else you can enter for this. So I can't wait. I'm going to spin that damn wheel. So let's start here.
Josh, how pleasing when is that when you had to reclaim the lead a few times? They started off quarters really well and you're able to get back in front of the second half of those quarters.
Yeah, I loved a lot of what that game presented. Structurally, we couldn't really play a different way today. We didn't have Harry in front of the ball, so that sort of limited the way the levers we could pull. But it forced us to continue to play the way we set out to, and in the face of being challenged at different times. And I think this is a great opportunity for the group today to manage the momentum shifts, to manage a couple of goals in a row, what that looks like for us. We're still very much finding out about how we stay connected on field, how we double down on our roles and execute. So I thought over the course of 4 quarters to persist and continue to play our way. Our pressure game was strong. I think we had a positive tackle count today, which is pleasing. We owned the ball at the right times by finding uncontested marks. We took the game on at the right times. It wasn't perfect. I thought some of our fundamentals were quite poor at different stages, but we know we've got this work in front of us and this will be ongoing. It's not a quick fix, but to persist with our method today, I thought was really pleasing.
Yeah, without Harry there, other than spread the load with goal kickers. Taylor Burns game.
Yeah, we should spend a second and talk about Taylor Byrne. He's been today. He'll get more spotlight because of maybe the numbers and the goals, but consistently over the course of the year, he has applied pressure that we just haven't had in our front half, and a lot of it at times is referred pressure. But his aerial craft for a smaller player is elite. His ground level pressure is elite. He makes good decisions with the ball. He's really exciting. If I was a Carlton supporter, I'd be excited about him being part of our footy club moving forward. And then you throw in the Harry Deans and the Jaggers and the Lockie Cowans and Billy Wilson. So there's a really exciting core group of young players coming through. Cooper Ward plays today that, the Carlton fans should be excited by.
Groups as well. Another massive performance is seems to be playing better footy since you've taken over reins. How helpful has he been to you in your initiation and coaching?
Yeah, I've spoken a little bit about Crippo. The thing that, the on-field form is one thing, but the leadership attached to it, I think, is arguably just important. And he has led this group incredibly well. And I think in some ways we've taken a little bit of the burden off him and allowed him to spread some of the leadership load. And whether that's changed his approach to the game or not, I'm not sure. But I just love how he's doing things on field that are helping others, and he doesn't feel like he has to do everything, which maybe in the past he's had. And he's such a team-first guy. He's a Carlton person, and he's leading the group incredibly well. Yeah, naturally you'd be disappointed. Milestone game, hamstring injury early. It's part of footy, unfortunately. He's great character. He's got great support. We'll get more information on that early in the week and see where that sits. But he's been an important player for us, and I think that adds to the performance today. Even if you look at last week, we lost a couple of players throughout the game, but the grit and the fight from the playing group was still there, and the intent to play our way was still there. And then you stack that up against Collingwood's form. Last week's performance was solid enough without being exactly where we want. And then today, again, we had to persevere, find a way. In a high transition game, when you lose a player, it spreads the load through others. I thought our resilience as a group was quite strong.
What's the diagnosis early on that one? Obviously hard to judge, but hamstring.
Yeah, hamstring, as I said, we'll get more information in the next 24 to 48 hours, and so we know exactly where it sits there.
You hope the case back this week?
Well, hopeful. Yeah, hopeful. He sort of came into the club last week with the intent to get himself up and going. It didn't quite happen for him. I'd imagine because of that process, he's going to be better placed moving into next week. But again, we have to map out what the week looks like for him, but he needs to train well. That's, like every player, he needs to get out there and train well to put his hand up for selection.
Is that Jagger Smith one of his best games you've ever seen? He had 31 disposals at 90% efficiency.
Yeah, I think he's been consistent. I don't look at the rising star stuff too often, but we've got a couple of guys that have been in contention. Jagger and Harry Dean, and he's so impressive, Harry, as a young defender. But Jagger, again, his consistency, it's no surprise because he puts so much work into his game. He's a guy who he does turn up Monday and wants to know how he can get better. He owns performances, he owns mistakes, and he's so driven, and I think that permeates through the group. I think having a young player come in like that and want to drive standards has been so important for us, but his form has been terrific. It's hard to separate his performances. I think he's been very consistent.
Just back on Harry Dean, in your time in the game, have you seen a young key defender do what he's doing right now?
Yeah, it's a good question. Probably not off the top of my head. I can't think of anybody. His competitiveness overall, so you talk about a young defender, I just see a young guy first year, how competitive he is. That just jumps off the page to me. And you see it at training and you see it game day. He just wants to win contests. He wants the team to win. He wants to be a great teammate. He's fantastic around the group. Clearly got a historical link to the club through his dad, so he's a passionate Carlton man. But he's energising our supporters, so he's having contests out there and our fans are getting behind him, and it's so exciting to see. So, and he'll get better. He'll continue to get better.
You mentioned the wildcard round at all yet, or the boys mentioned that at all?
They haven't, and I haven't, but I think there's an awareness of it in the background. I'm sort of, for me, it's not so much around that as opposed to what we're building through the week, and that is where we're at. I think I'd be doing a disservice to the club in terms of trying to take it forward if we started to take our eyes off what's given us a chance to be in this position. So our training standards are improving. Our want individually and collectively to grow our game and get better is improving. We are not a finished product. We've got so much work in front of us, but the next 4 weeks represents a chance to keep building on that. And we have an awareness that where we sit in relation to the ladder gives us something to chase as well without broadcasting that.
Hear a bit about the training standards. What was the issue there? Intensity, or was it just...
I think we've just become more consistent in our training standards, and I think we've probably changed some of the ways we train and the methods we train, and just challenged some of the things we see game day are a product of what we're doing during the week. So that's some of that stuff's around connection. Now, clearly we've got work to do. I mentioned our fundamentals earlier, so there's still a fair bit of work in front of us there, but there's a good energy around how we're training at the moment, but our challenge is to maintain that.
Just literally one about yourself. Do you have a chat anytime soon? Has anything changed there? Like last month of the season coming up?
Yeah.
Sort of hear other names bobbing up. The boys might be getting close to potentially settling on someone soon.
Yeah, nothing specific from my end. We're clearly getting closer to the end of the season than what we were, 9-10 weeks ago, but at some point in time, I will have to consider where I'm at as a coach. And I think every coach would go through that process this time of year. You sort of start to think about where your gaps are and what you need to keep growing, and I'm no different. So when the time's right, I'll have a deeper think about what that looks like.
Have you got an understanding, though, that boys will give you time to make that call before they make a final decision?
No, not specifically. No, there's a process that's, my understanding, is underway in the background, and my job's an interim coach at the moment to coach the team, and I've been pretty deliberate around not making this about myself and making it about the club, and I want to continue that, but with the acknowledgement that at some point I need to consider where this opportunity's placed me. Thanks, guys. Cheers. Thank you.
Whoa. All right. That was Josh Fraser. Just consistent, composed, and selfless. Just focusing on the process, not getting caught up in anything other than the task at hand. He is an impressive fella Oz. Sorry, mate. $2. We need to win 2 to 3 more games to make a wild card final. Yes, we do. We also need that man over there. We need that man back. We need Weeders to get back into this team. All right. There it is. Somebody's about to take this home. Firstly, thank you to all the members. Thank you to our new members, Josie, Damien, and Costas, who just signed up for the membership while we were watching that press conference, while we were listening to that press conference. Without your support as members, this channel doesn't grow the way it does. At the end of the day, this channel, I mean, really, if you look out there in the landscape of footy media, things are obviously changing. The narrative is no longer dictated by those who are talking about our club for their own large corporations' interests and clickbaity titles and clickbaity articles and absolutely disrespectful commentary. People want Carlton fans. Carlton people want Carlton people to talk about Carlton. So that's what this channel is all about. It keeps things, it's a bit tricky, obviously, when you're independent. So, if you are in a position to support and become a member, just know that that is ultimately what helps keep this machine going. And my pledge with the members is to continue to provide the best coverage possible. So thank you very much for those of you who support. But without any further ado, we've never done this on the fan cams.
Oh, it's time for the Wheel of Prizes!
Spit on that thing.
I'm gonna go spin that wheel!
All right. Somebody's taking home this 2026 Team Signed Guernsey right now. I can't wait to find out who it's going to be. You don't have to pick up the phone, but it would be nice if you could pick up the phone. Random picker. Here we go. Good luck. Good luck, everyone. And the winner of the 2026 Team Signed Guernsey is... Oh my God, I'm nervous. Jed Burrows. That is a fascinating name. I see Jed often from time to time. Wow. Jed Burrows. He's going to love it.
You have reached the message bank of...
You're joking. Nah, he has to pick up. I'm going to FaceTime him. You're kidding. Yeah, not quite Jed Walter, but Jed Burrows. Nah, Jed, we're not having this. Phone. Come on.
Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available.
Jed, it's Tez. We're giving you a prize, mate.
Thanks. Please stay on the line.
Oh, come on. Come on.
I'm sorry, this person is not available. If you would like to leave an additional message, please reply after the tone.
Hello.
One more call. No. He's busy. It is what it is. Anyway, Jed Burrows. I know him. I know him very well. Actually, he works near me. I see him around the corner, so I won't have to post it. I can hand deliver it to him. Congratulations. All right, guys. I think that's us. Cheeky 2 hours on the fan cams. I'll put the link in one more time if anybody wants to call in. Otherwise, we can call it a day. But that was absolutely a good win, a needed win, a win with merit. We were challenged, and away we go. This is the lay of the land right now. This is where we sit. Live ladder. The Swans and the Hawks are doing the business. And right now, the Blues sit right there in the 10. So the Giants will take a massive percentage hit. They're getting smashed right now. The Saints will play North tomorrow. We might be doing a little hate watch for St Kilda. But we shall see. That is what the situation is right now. John, Yasu.
Yasu Tez, how are you feeling?
Good, mate. Yeah, good. It was a good day at the footy.
It was a good day. I was watching here in my lounge room in Sydney.
Can I bring you back in? Just one moment.
Sure.
Jed.
Jerry.
How are ya?
Yeah, not too bad.
What are you up to?
Just got home.
Home from the game?
You there?
Yeah? Come home from the game?
Yeah.
Awesome, mate. I'm just live on the fan cams. I don't know if you were aware, but you wouldn't have been because I only announced it during the fan cams. But long story short, I have a 2026 team signed Guernsey that I promised I would give away to a Blue Abroad member if we won, and we did, and your name came up. So I have to ask the question, would you like a 2026 team signed Guernsey?
Yes, please.
Well, it's yours, mate. Congratulations.
Yes, please.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Happy days. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I just had to walk outside.
Yeah, I was just saying you've won the Guernsey, so I'll hand deliver it to you next week.
No worries. Thank you so much.
What'd you make of the game?
No, sorry?
What'd you make of the game?
It was actually high scoring and very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's great. Thanks so much, Jerry.
No.
Thanks for everything that you do as well.
No, my pleasure, mate. I'll speak to you next week. I'll come and deliver it to you.
All right. I'll see you at the coffee shop.
Good on you. See you, mate. John.
How good was that call?
Oh, great.
What did you think about today, Tez?
It was a hard-fought
play.
win. Yeah, it was a hard-fought win. We were up against it. We lose Nick Newman early, up against it even more, lose the on-field leadership and coach that he is for us. But you know what? They gritted their teeth. They wanted it more. And the team that was willing to play with bravery and courage and togetherness won today, I thought.
Yeah, I think that's a spot-on reality of actually what happened. It's the first time watching on TV that I said, these boys, even though they're making mistakes, they're getting everything thrown at them, but they're connecting. And when I mean they're connecting, maybe there was a kick that was astray, or a handball went astray, or a kick hit a Gold Coast player, but they didn't hang their heads down, and it was a real team effort. And I thought for most of the day, even when it was close, I always thought we were a 4 or 5 goal better team. We've just got to, if we're going to give ourselves a chance for next week, we've just got to kick those goals when we're 20 metres out directly in front. Otherwise we'll get steamrolled. But I just love the way that our coach, and he will be our coach, I'm sure of it,
You reckon?
Oh yeah, I'm positive. I'm positive.
Wow.
I'm really confident that he not only does he speak like a coach, but he knows every one of those lads, and he's built a trust in them. They're not afraid. They used to be shit scared under Vossi, making a mistake. They make 2 mistakes, and you could see that they're lost for a quarter and a half. Now you've got the kids going in there, and since they've been in there, they've just played their way. Now they're learning to play a system, and now they're learning each other's game. And when you look at that, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Who do you think are the 3 most important people at Carlton right now?
Graham Wright, Chris Davies, Rob Priestley.
Yep. Spot on. I was going to take Priestley out and put Fraser in there. In that order, Graham Wright, Chris Davies, and Josh Fraser.
Yeah.
Because each one of those guys, I don't know what Priestley does. I really don't know. And I'm not having a go or anything, but I just don't know his role. But I've got a fair idea what Graham Wright would be doing, a fair idea what Chris Davies doing. And, well, anyone can see with the evidence for the last 10 weeks what Fraser's done. So I'm sitting here the happiest I've sat probably since we bought a whole heap of other young juniors in 10 years ago. But the difference is that we were putting these really good juniors in sides that were getting done by 50, 60, 70 points. And when they finally came good at 23, 24, 25, they either got injured or moved on. But I'm really confident. I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago about the synergy and the connection that's happening. We just need those 2 or 3 players to come in, plus the Cody Walker. These younger guys have got, another 10 games under their belt coming into another preseason. And if we can not have any mishaps, when I mean not have any mishaps, nothing external, we had too much going on last year. TDK was always going to go. Charlie was just a major, major disruption. And then Jack. But I'm not looking back, but there's just so many positives. And if we only won another 1 or 2 games for the year, it wouldn't bother me. But it's just like I love the way that Josh has gone about it, and the whole Carlton people are right behind him, and good on them. Good on them. They deserve that win today.
Yeah, deserved is the perfect word. Hard fought. The game was not on our terms for all of it, but they just dug deep. It just can't be understated how undermanned we were.
Yeah, and when I just looked at the 2 different captains of the team, and you see how Cripper's leading the team, but actually on field how he's leading the team on game day. And then I looked at Gold Coast's leaders, and I went, well, I can see why you haven't, you've lost your last 9 games. And they threw everything that they had at us today.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, look,
please.
They were a game behind us, but today was their last chance to be in contention for finals, for wildcard, the Suns.
Well, after round 3, they were favourites for the flag.
Yeah.
They were favourites for the flag, but lots of mentions. There's too many players to mention today that, I just thought it was just a really good team effort that someone made a mistake, bang, there was someone else there on it. And if Gold Coast got a goal out of it, it didn't matter. We went back in twice as hard. And that's what I love. And they've been doing that since Fraser. If I look at Collingwood's game last week and then look at Collingwood's form, seriously, Tez, it was 20 scoring shots to 19. And there
Mm.
was real clutch moments in the game that you knew if Collingwood took, that they would win. And we just didn't take ours for whatever reason. But they bounced back hard. They could have gone, if it was old Carlton under Vossi, today we could have got done maybe 21, 22 points. And we'd be sitting here going like, where is this going? So
Yeah, I felt today was one of those. I mean, you win, you're alive. You lose, I think pretty quickly we would have been. It's all right, next year, Graham Wright. 10 players we've got to change. We've got 20 out of contract. Yeah, I think we would have. Yeah, it was just funny. I just felt it a little bit on a knife's edge. I don't know if the same sentiment is for next week because no one expects us to win next week. I mean, externally, I forgot that it was Cripps' 250th until today.
Me too.
So we really let him down in his 200th. I actually won't ever forget that night. I really want to get the win for him. And I mean, I don't want to put one person ahead of the team though. So there's that too. But just feel like the champions of the team and the club need honouring.
you're right. They do. And he, if there's a footy god, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he deserves it. I actually think we'll win by 4 points next week.
Oh, mate. We win next week.
Could you imagine 45,000 there, 50,000 there next week? What that will do to Cripper though? Cripper will be thinking, "Oh, I've only got another 150 before I get to my 400th."
He's got plenty of games left in him. He just keeps playing at a really high level. Well into he's in his 30s now. He just keeps going.
I loved when he brought the ball down in the goal square and then got on the left foot. Dropped the ball down on his left foot and kicked it through.
Yeah,
Good on
he missed
him.
a dead shot, but he made up for it with his couple.
Still, like the only thing that when I get nervous during the game, I close my eyes as soon as we either get a free kick or mark the ball 30 meters out directly in front. I look away.
Yeah.
And I'm the most optimistic person that there is there. And I just look away and then I look back and I go, oh, fuck. Don't tell me they missed it again, And if they get that right and we can get a leading forward and, no knock on what Kempy's doing. I saw what Kempy was doing today. He was trying to set up people, handball off and things like that. And, he played his role. But who would be your pick if you could have a pick and say, all right, this is the person that I want to bring in for full forward? Who would it be?
Realistically or in a fantasy world?
No, realistically.
Realistically, I like the idea of Jesse Hogan for a couple of years.
Okay.
I like the idea of him just sort of there for maybe, I mean, I'd say 1 to 2 years. I think he might have a little bit more, but let's just say 2 years. And then you bring in a young forward to develop underneath there. I don't think Hudson O'Keefe's good enough as a forward, personally, and I just don't know what's going to happen there with Flynn Riley now. I'd like to persist with him, but yeah, Hogan's an interesting one. Max Ramsden could be cheap. He's from Hawthorn. He's not an established name. He's ready to start playing footy though. So if they're going to be getting Ben King, the Hawks, I think Max Ramsden might be pushed out. I don't know. He might be worth a look. Could be on the cheap as a young developing forward who's ready to play games, just on the cusp. But yeah, I'm warming to the idea of Hogan.
Yeah, he's injured now. Is he injured at the moment?
I think so.
Yeah. I heard that he had one of the best preparations to get back into the swing of things a couple of years ago when he was flying and he wasn't missing set shots at all and he was just marking the ball and plucking them. And I don't know if it's his ankle or if it's a hamstring or something, but I know something's not right there.
Yeah. Someone in the chat just said here, Mitch Georgiades. I don't know if Port Adelaide would ever let him go, but Mitch Georgiades would slot perfectly.
Well, I heard that he's going to go back to Perth.
Georgiades?
Yeah. If not next year, the year after, he'll go back to Perth.
Interesting.
Yeah. Or who knows, Kenny might try get him to Tassie, big dollars.
Jeez.
Kenny loves him.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
well,
he loves him.
we haven't got long because in about a month's time, all the speculation is going to ramp up. It already is ramping up, but it's going to be a very active trade period, and I'm sure our name will be right up there. I think there's a lot of Carlton trade rumors, content, all of it. I think it's going to be the busiest period that we've seen for quite some time.
Yeah. Look, Righty and Chris Davies will get it right. They'll get it right. Amongst us fans, there'll be a few disgruntled fans because there's going to be some players that go. But I think we just need to think of team first. And I think they're going to get it right. I hope they don't get Joe Amati. I've watched too many of his games. He's just one. He makes Charlie look like a champion.
I think they do it to each other.
Yeah.
Well,
I've just
I
watched
think
too
the
many
Amati
games.
stuff, I mean, this is my perspective on it. I don't think the report came out that Carlton had tabled an offer to Joel Amati. That is different to Carlton have submitted an official offer. I doubt. I mean, I think you'd be, if you're Graham Wright and you're Chris Davies, you have to pick up the phone and ask the question of all the key forwards that are out there. I think they've done that clearly. They've asked the question of his management.
Mhm.
But I would be surprised if we've actually offered him a 5-year deal.
Yeah, I would hope not. I hear Kelsha Deer's on the radar.
He'd be, yeah, super talented player. I'd love him. I'd love
Yeah,
him.
me
Hey,
too.
question. Where are you? I see it a little bit in the chat here as well. Where are you in the trade Wiedering camp? Do you think
no,
it's only
we keep him. No. Well, that's just like throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Agreed.
When you've got 5, 6 kids like we have right now, and I call them kids, the Burns, Dean, Cowan, Billy Wilson. I've probably missed somebody, but you do not throw Wiedering out right now. If they were to trade Wiedering, I'd want Coleman, their full forward, and a first rounder for Wiedering.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think the path forward, the future, I can see it pretty clearly in the back line. You got Harry Dean, Harry O'Farrell, Billy Wilson there, and Jacob Wiedering, right? And you can even say maybe Wade Dirksen can pinch hit there, like whatever. The forward line is where I think needs the most work. The forward line and the midfield. That's for me.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you entirely, but I would be really, really surprised unless he wanted out. And any player that really wants out desperately, I don't care if they've got a 4-year contract, get them out. Make sure you get something just as good. And, Charlie didn't want in, and we got Florent, we got Hainsworth, and was it a first-round pick or
couple of them?
Yeah, a couple. And I'm so glad he's gone. And I loved Charlie while he was playing for him. I fucking hate them all when they leave us.
Of course, that's how it works, mate.
Right, but he's not going to win it. Charlie's not going to win a grand final for the Swans. He's no Buddy. He's no Tony Lockett. Charlie plays the game between his ears. Charlie's super talented. Seems like a great fella, but he plays the game between his ears, and he played it out that way last year. But anyway, 2 years I'm expecting to be in a grand final. If Graham Wright and Chris Davies, and I'm not worried about Josh Fraser. I'm really not worried about him, Tez. This guy is a coach. this time next year, they'll be calling him Super Coach. If he can keep this team growing, and he's doing, and his assistant coaches stay as well, lots of good things are going to happen. We're going to be very, very happy, and we'll be top 4.
Mate, I'm here for it. I wait ever so patiently for it.
Go Blues.
Go Blues. Good on you, John.
Thanks for the chat.
See you, mate. All right. That's us. Nine wins, 10 losses. Let me just bring this up again before we wrap up. 9 wins, 10 losses. 2025, 9 wins, 14 losses. We won the last 2 games of the season. A complete capitulation as we're hoping to improve year on year. That is where we were last year. There's an opportunity to go even better and show that we can actually improve after all that. After all that we've seen this year, after the poor starts, after, oh my God, we even left wins on the table. After all of that, after getting rid of the coach, after 1-8, after all the controversy, we may actually end up winning more games. After apparently having superstars on the list who were $1 million players who were irreplaceable, after all that, we're about to hopefully, sorry about the net crack. Anyway, after all that, we could be in a better position. Who would have thought? Anyway, thanks very much for tuning in. I will see you all. I'll see you all tomorrow for the review. I'll do it in the morning. I'll go have a nice night. And we'll go from there. Take care. Much love. Congratulations to Jed for winning the Guernsey, and thank you very much. Just a little teaser. The next giveaway, I've got a signed Sam Doherty Guernsey, and I will have a copy of his book, which is coming out next week for the next giveaway. So we'll do that next week, and we'll go from there. Take care. Go Blues.